Hey y'all, welcome to the Suburban Stitcher podcast. My name is Diane and today is March 22nd, 2017. I am coming to you from suburban, oh gosh, this feels like, sorry. I'm coming to you from suburban Houston area, Texas. I live kind of south of Houston and I have a smallish town that I live in, but I love it here, and I originally from Louisiana, but I'm living in Texas because I can't get my husband to move away. And the cost of living and life here is good. So, all of that to say, welcome. If you are new, thank you so much for joining me. I have noticed that there are lots of new subscribers on YouTube. So thank you so much. I don't know where you heard of me, but I have been podcasting for 3.5 years or so, and I love it. I love every minute of this crazy, fun knitting world that I get to be a part of. I own a bag and yarn dyeing business called Suburban Stitcher. My shop is on Etsy, and I am married to a wonderful man who makes all of this happen for me, and have 2 crazy, wild, involved in everything boys. And life is wonderful. So anyway, welcome to the show. I have a few things to talk about. I talk about the ravelry, the Rainbow Along winners at the end of this episode. So make sure you tune in if you participated in the Rainbow Along. All of those winners are announced at the end of the episode. I also am going to have a book review today, which is really exciting. I do have a few knitted things to show today, things that I have finished and things that I've worked on. I have only finished one thing. I actually finished these off this morning. These are my March Desert Vista Dye Works socks. I am participating in her year-long knit-along for official knit-along. It's an official knit-along at this point. Susan, it's not unofficial anymore. It's the 3rd year. It's official. But I knit my socks. This is the Neon Peeps colorway. And they're not exactly matching. You can see a little peep of a yellow on that one, and the width of the toes are a little bit different, but they're pretty darn close, which is fine enough for me. But I knit these quite a bit longer than I usually do. I've been leaning towards that lately, which is fun and nice to have a few pairs now that are a little bit longer. Typically, I guess I kind of end up with my cuffs around here. So it's about a cuff length longer than I normally make socks. So that's been nice. Like I said, this is the Neon Peeps colorway. I don't know if it's in her shop right now or not, but I love all the speckles. I knit these toe up. I do a Turkish cast on for 16 stitches on each needle. Then I increase every other round until I get up to 32 stitches on each needle, which is 64 stitches. I knit a sock tube, so just straight knitting all the way up. This one I did 9 pattern repeats, and then I knit a little over 1 repeat for the cuff. It's a 2x2 rib, and then after both sock tubes are done, I cut in and do an afterthought heel. I do an afterthought heel based off of my good friend Cherie Kirby Werby, a video that she made for me and a couple of her customers years ago who just could not wrap their brains around afterthought heels. So she made us this video, and it's what I use, and it's my favorite method for afterthought heels. This one has a little bit more of a hole than they normally do. Probably because it's on the blocker. It will not be that bad once I wear it. So that is my finished object. That will earn a few points anyway for Zombie Knitpocalypse Team Blue. They have us separated into teams for kind of pre-retreat fun to see which team can knit or crochet or whatever the most points. Maybe it's just knitting. I don't know. Maybe it is crochet. I don't know. Anyway, whatever the rules are, whoever can accumulate the most points. And so this is, or the most yards, I should say. And these earned me, these were 328 yards, about 71 grams total. So 328 yards, woohoo! I think I've only contributed maybe a little over 1,000 yards. So I'm doing my best, but as most people who get more and more and more into this business, you just realize that your knitting time is not as much as it used to be. So I am feeling those growing pains a little bit myself right now. Okay, so for things that I have worked on, once I finished those, I did pull these back out. These are my Mustache Yarn Je T'aime socks. This is the first one that I finished a few weeks back, right around Valentine's Day. And I did cast on the second one, but I had not knit very much. And so last night, because I had finished those socks and I couldn't Kitchener in the dark in bed, I just grabbed this one and finished the toe, and I'm on to straight knitting now. So it's my little Sucra Sucra stitch marker from Valentine's Day. And this is another long pair, so I am just all about the long socks these days, which is good. They take a little bit longer to knit and to finish, but they will be great for points earning, right? Yes, so I am very happy to get these kind of pulled back out again and working on them. I may end up saving this to work on a little bit at DFW while I am in the mustache booth working with Stacy. Okay, so that is something I worked on. I put a little tiny bit of work on my husband's Zauberball socks. So, okay, funny story. Maybe not last episode, but the episode before, I talked in length, apparently, about my husband's feet. And bless his little pea pickin' heart and his weirdo feet, his feet are what they are. They're an issue. But, so what's so funny is, hi, Jody and Tracy. I got a message from my friend. I was, the first day of the retreat, I had literally just finished taping a special episode, interview episode, which y'all will see in a few days. But I had just finished taping that, and I got a message from my friend Michelle of Studio in the Green, and she said, "Oh my gosh, the grocery girls are talking about Josh's feet." And I literally ran upstairs in my hotel room to go see what they were saying about it, and I was dying laughing when Jody was talking about how he must have Shrek legs. So then I messaged my husband and said, okay, I just need to tell you this because you need to know that apparently I talked about your feet so much so that now everybody's talking about your Shrek legs and your feet. And he started laughing and he said, he goes, if I can be the person to bring awareness to my condition, he doesn't have a condition. So anyway, he took it in stride, and I just got the biggest kick out of his Shrek legs. So that's what I call his legs and his ankles now. It just makes me giggle so much. So all that to say, I can't remember where they were last when I showed them, but so I have the leg of one sock, and I kept it a little bit short just because I want to make sure that with 80 stitches, and as long as these need to be for a size 13, that they are good. So I have this was 72 stitches. I increased out to 80 stitches right here. I think I knit about 50 rounds. And then now I am doing heel flap and gusset, which is going to kill me, but I'm doing it. I'm doing the one that was in the Hermione pattern, so it's the modified Eye of Partridge. I don't know, I've never done it before. Don't know if this is what it's supposed to look like, but it kind of looks groovy. So I'm going with it. So I'm going to do that for this. I totally messed up on the first round, and I'm not pulling it out. It's going to have this weird ridge right there because I held my yarn in the front instead of the back when I was slipping a stitch because I'm not smart. I don't do these things a lot, and it doesn't say slip with yarn on right side or in back or whatever. It just says slip, stitch. So maybe you're supposed to just know that. I didn't know that. And then when I started looking at it, I was like, huh, that's kind of weird. And then I looked at the pictures of the finished heel, and it's clearly wrong, but oh well. So all I have to do is do it on the next one, and then they match. But, oh, man, my light was so good. It must have gone behind a cloud. So, so this is how it's looking. This is Crazy Zauberball in, let's see what color. Color 1537, and it just kind of goes, excuse me, in these blues and oranges the whole way. So these are going to be slow going because they're not fun, but I've just been sort of bringing them with me, and periodically I pull them out to work on. Oh, sorry, runaway yarn. My bad. Runaway yarn. And that's what it looks like in the cake. So, nice and this comes in a hand-wound ball, but that just rolls around like crazy for me, and this is so much easier to manage. So I re-caked it into this, and it is much to my preference that way. I'm knitting those on US 1, US 1s, 2.25 millimeter on Knit Pro Zings, which I enjoy. And it's in a freckled whimsy bag that I got a couple years ago. Let's see, what else did I knit on? I knit on my little sample Deep South Charm cowl, just that I'm making up as I go along with all of the colorways. So this is just not a colorway that will ever happen again, but it's just a good neutral. I could never repeat it even if I wanted to. I don't know what I did. I just kind of threw some random things in a pot and didn't like it, so it'll never happen again. This is Spanish Moss, and the number of stitches that I put in this, made some of these pool a little bit, but obviously for socks it would look totally different or whatever. This is Bourbon Street Blues, the greens and purples, and that one definitely you can see some pooling, but I just love how it looks. And then this is Peach Tea, and this is so one of my favorites. Just basically I am knitting. I wrote down the instructions for what I did so that if anybody ever wants to know once it's all finished, I will maybe just make a blog post about it as a free pattern, because it's not terribly difficult at all. Mostly, like I said, if anybody just is curious how I did what I did. But I just put a little eyelet row in between and plain stockinette knitting, just to show off the colors in stockinette. So it's really fun to knit on this. So I'm on the third color out of 6 total. Oh my gosh, really? The light. Yeah. Also, I have 2 lights out in my room. That's not helping. That is in my Rainbow Along bag that I kept for myself because I'm selfish. Not because I'm selfish, because I made it and I can. I did put a few rows on my Curious Handmade mystery shawl. You are not going to necessarily be able to tell the difference, but I did add maybe 6 or 8 or 10 rows since the last time you saw it. Almost done with clue 3, like 2 or 3 rows left. So I'm about to increase up to like 500 and some odd stitches, and then it stays that way to the end. But wow, on the screen, I'm just absolutely loving how that looks. These last 2 colors together are so dreamy to me. The kind of the rainbow variegated and then this medium-ish gray. The yarn I'm using is some of my yarn. So these 2 colors up here, the light gray is Whisper. This little medium gray is called Liquid Silver. And then the rainbow variegated is some Marigold Gin. I just love how this is looking. It's so huge. I can't even begin to show you the real shape of it, but I'm loving, just really particularly love this section right here. Kind of looks awesome. So that's really fun. I do a few rows every day when I can. And eventually it will get done. I want to get it done before the summer because this will earn me some points for sure for the Zombie Knitpocalypse Team Blue. So I'm, putting a little bit of emphasis on the projects that I started after January 1st because that is one of the big requirements, is it has to be a project that is finished or started after January 1st. Let's see, what else? I have worked some on my Marled Magic. I know I showed this last time, and I can't remember how far I was, but you can see in this tote bag of mine that I literally have like a million skeins of randomness that I have just pulled to use for this, which is sort of the point, and that's pretty fun. I'm still on clue 2. I'm slow going because the seed stitch, I love it. I love how it looks, but oh my gosh, it's going to kill me. I'm just so over the seed stitch. And there's yarn tails everywhere, and this is kind of a mess. But here's clue 1. This section, I have 2 needles in here because I've been holding these stitches for a little while. But this is clue 1, that side, the little mesh section. I held a white or an ivory and then striped the second color throughout. And then this is section 2, still part of clue 1, but section 2. I am doing a gradual variant or variegated or however he says it, but basically you start holding 2 and then you drop 1, keep holding the other one, and then you drop another one, keep holding the other one, and you just gradually change. I'm using a lot of purples and orchids and greens and golds and blues. It's kind of my general color scheme. But this thing's going to look like a hot, crazy mess when it's all said and done because that's how they all are looking. I'm very intrigued to see what it looks like when it's all said and done, because it would be interesting to have, to go back and have a final plan. Once you know what it's going to look like, I guess, is the best way to say that. I did purchase some more Shibui to put in here, some more Silk Cloud, and then I have another skein that I purchased while I was on vacation. I don't know where it is. It's in here somewhere. Anyway, I purchased this at one of my local yarn stores that I had never been to. It's called Twisted in Spring. So I purchased this one. And then I purchased a skein of, I think it's Rowan Silk Haze. Kid Silk Haze, I think is what it's called. It's sort of a pinky purpley color, pinky rose color. So I thought these two would go good with the other color schemes that I've already got going in that shawl, and would just add something fun to it. Texture, because of course. So that's really my only yarn enhancement this time, which is good. Is that it for what I worked on? I think so. I think that's all the knitting. That was also Hello Lovelies. So I do want to mention a few kind of shop business things. If you are not interested at all, well, it's going to be 2 seconds. So I have not been putting a lot of things in the shop because I'm getting ready for DFW. I pulled the pre-orders, like all of these things, for all of the Deep South Charms. I had like a dyed to order listings up for a week or two, and I pulled that down. I finished dyeing all of those requests today, and they should be going out in the mail tomorrow and Friday, depending on how quickly the yarn dries. But it's nice and bright and sunny and warm here, so that is helping yarn drying speed immensely. The orders for the March bag and yarn of the month are about halfway done. Again, that yarn is drying and should be out in the mail by Friday, I would say. Tomorrow is going to be finishing up all the bags. Y'all are going to love them. I loved the fabric when I picked it out, and then when I saw it in person, it's even better. The April bag and yarn of the month order things are going to be good. And I'm going to make it a little more, I said it was a surprise, but I kind of gave you a sneak peek. And I think that's kind of going to be what I do, because that just feels nice to me, if that makes sense. Just because I want people to know what they're getting. Like, if you just hate the colors or you hate the theme, like, I don't want you to be stuck with something that you hate, because I would hate that. And especially since you don't know me as a yarn person very much. I will say the yarn will probably always be a secret, just because that's just one of those things that, you know, happens as it happens, creatively, I guess. But all of that to say that the April listings will be going up in the next day or two for the April bag and yarn of the month. They will get mailed sometime about this time, like around the 20th. So it's about 4-week turnaround from when you order it to when it will go out in the mail. And I want to show you the fabric that will be part of the bags. It's these fun little crocheted granny square looking things. So this is going to be on the bags. They will probably have the linen, you know, coordinate at the bottom, which I just love doing. And yeah, so the yarn will be in these colors because it will coordinate. So if you like this, you're getting the sneak peek here. So you will want to be on the lookout for the April club. And you can just buy 1 month and not the next month or whatever. I will say that this month I will only be offering the sock-sized bag for April. I offered multiple sizes last month, and really everybody just wanted the sock size anyway. So I'm just going to go to offering the sock size. Okay, I think that is all the shop business. And we have a book review that I am excited to talk about. And this is Coffee with Cece and Dammy too. It is the second coffee-inspired knitting collection from Cece, and now this year she has done this with her daughter, Dammy Damaris. They have the podcast that they do together, and they're just such an endearing, I just love watching them. Love the relationship that they have together, and this second collection of coffee-themed knits is just as amazing as the first. And I'm thrilled that they asked me to do a review. There are 7 knitting patterns in this collection, caffeine inspired, as they say. And so there are 5 sock patterns, 1 pattern for fingerless mitts that you can do several ways, and then a wrap pattern. So 7 patterns total. Gorgeous photography in here. They've done a really fabulous job of pairing beautiful, what I would call a beauty shot, that is just a lovely picture that is, staged nicely and beautifully, and pairing that with photos that give you very helpful looks at the actual knitting or the actual pattern part of the sock or the wrap or mitts that you're knitting. So I really enjoy that they put thought into both aspects of that. The first pattern is called Baby Chino Socks, and As the Drink, which is a kind of a milk-based, little to no coffee in it at all drink, perfect for kids. It's just kind of a frothy milk. As That is perfect for babies and toddlers, or for adults that would like that. The sizing of this sock goes from babies to a large adult. It is a textured pattern, just that has an all-over texture. It is also written for cuff up and cuff down. It would look beautiful in a patterned, let's see if I can do this so that it doesn't show. It would look gorgeous in a stripe sock, as they have done, but it would also look great in a solid. The next pattern is called Instant Coffee Socks, and this one is by Dami, and she says that these are inspired by the look and concept of instant coffee. So that texture is what reminded her of the instant coffee granules. She says the socks are easy and quick to make, just like instant coffee, so that's perfect. The size is from small, medium, and large, so adult sizes. There is a toe up and a cuff down for this one as well. And I will show you the sock right there. So you can see lovely texture on that one. Perfect for a variegated, really a speckled, or a solid. The third pattern is called Espresso Campana, and that drink is espresso topped with whipped cream, and so she said that, and this is designed by Cece, that she replicated the look of the espresso pattern using a texture to represent the coffee foam with the whipped cream on top. So let me show you this textured pattern. Let's see. If I can do this without getting a reflection. That's pretty hard. There we go. But it's really pretty. Again, would be great in a speckled or lightly variegated to solid sock. She says that it is, not super difficult pattern. Perfectly good for a beginner, I would say. Beginner sock knitter. Her written instructions for how to do all parts of the sock, cuff, toe, heel, stitch patterns. She's got great big charts. Excuse me, so even on my phone, and I'm not going to show it to you, but on a phone, looking at it, you would think that you'd have to really enlarge that stitch pattern, and it is big on the phone. Another thing that I really enjoy, and this is kind of an aside from this specific pattern, but in general, the book, the table of contents in this book, if you click on the picture that they have, it sends you right to that pattern. It's perfect. It's hyperlinked, easy to get to if you're using it on a tablet or a phone, an electronic device. The fourth pattern is called Chai Latte Socks, and they say that, while this is not technically a coffee drink, it is something that's available, blend of black tea, spices, and herbs. It replicated the look of the spices used in a chai latte using slipped stitches. And they have done this with a striped sock, which I think works quite well. I really love the way that it looks with the stripes. Oh, there we go. So you can see that there's some slip stitches. The texture really is working well with that sock. with the stripes, which is always nice to have another option to do when you have as much self-striping yarn as I do. The flat white wrap is a stunning wrap. Absolutely gorgeous. It has a lace kind of repeating motif, and I'm going to show you a couple of pictures on this one. This is totally an aside, but Cece, girlfriend, you look amazing because you are rocking that shawl with your back showing, which any person is a little more self-conscious when they're, turned around to the camera with your backside facing the camera, and girl, you are looking good. So I just have to say 2 thumbs up to you, my good friend. You look amazing. And also the pink hair is just extra awesome. Pink hair, friends. Anyway, that is a total aside. But I want to show you this gorgeous, it is just a beautiful wrap that she's wearing. And then I'm going to show you a picture that will have much more detail in it. So you can see it's almost like a fishtail looking lace pattern. Very reminiscent of like a Cookie A pattern, I would say, kind of like the monkey, where it just sort of goes in and out of each other throughout. Beautiful, beautiful stitch pattern. Looks like it would be intoxicating to knit, and you would just want to keep going and going and going, which is perfect for that kind of pattern. It is knit out of fingering weight, I believe. Yeah, she used about 1,000 grams of a light fingering weight yarn. Sample is knit on Little Yellow Uke Crafts Soprano Shawl yarn in the flat white colorway. The next and last sock pattern is called Hot Chocolate with Pink Marshmallows. And this is a really cute cabled sock that has an X's and O's cable pattern. There you go. Really fun. Perfect for, a more solid or a lightly speckled variegated colorway. Amazing chart, amazing instructions, and it is written for toe up and cuff down, as are all of the sock patterns. And the last pattern in this book is called 1-shot, 2-shot, 3-shot fingerless mitts. And so they have designed a fingerless mitt pattern that you can make as long or as short as you like, which I think is completely brilliant. The cable pattern is a braid of 3 strands repeated 3 times around the mitts. There are 3 length options, appropriately named 1-shot, 2-shot, or 3-shot. They do say that this difficulty is a 3-shot difficulty. Really great explanations on how to do the thumb gussets and all of the parts of the glove. The difficulty, they have a 1, 2, or 3 coffee cup for coffee strength scale, and that was a 3-cup strength, which is their most difficult pattern, that they say it's a strong difficulty. Just a lovely book, a lovely collection of patterns. If you love knitting socks and just want a little something extra to throw in there as far as, a new design, this is the perfect collection for you. I could see myself knitting anything in this collection, truly any of the items, and they're all beautiful, they're all well thought out, and they would be lovely to knit. So enjoy this pattern. I really hope that y'all go take a look at it. And again, that is Coffee. I want to get the name right because, sorry, I'm having to scroll to the top. Coffee with Cece and Dammy too. Another 7-pattern caffeine-inspired knitting collection. So thank you so much for asking me to review this. Thank you for sending me the copy. They did send me a copy of this to review, and I'm just so excited for your new collection, so y'all go check it out. Okay. I have one more thing that I want to talk about, and that will be it for today. So the last thing that I want to talk about is just a little hint at something you might want to keep your eye out for on Instagram. I will be celebrating my birthday on March 31st. I am definitely a believer in celebrating as long as humanly possible your birthday because of course, why wouldn't you? So March 31st is coming up next week, next Friday, and I really am just so grateful all of the time for you, for watching this podcast, for encouraging me, for supporting my business, which then in turn supports my family. I just cannot, there aren't enough words. So for my birthday this year, I am going to be celebrating you. And here's what that's going to look like. I will be doing a pretty massive giveaway, and it's going to be hosted over on Instagram. I am Suburban Stitcher on Instagram. If you do not follow me there, I really, really encourage you to go follow me on Instagram. I will not be having any part of this giveaway on Ravelry. It will not be through YouTube or through any other way. It will be an Instagram giveaway. If you are not a follower, again, go follow me on Instagram and enter to win. When I talk about it over there, probably will start next week because I need the weekend to sort of gather everything and my thoughts all together. But I do want to say that, one of the things that is just so amazing about this job that I have with podcasting and with creating lovely things for you is I get the chance to share beautiful things with you. Sometimes companies send them to me to review, and sometimes they send me things to give away. So this is my chance to share a lot of things with you. And together we're going to celebrate my birthday next week. One thing that I definitely want to talk about is the amazing people over at the Fiber Company. The Fiber Company contacted me and sent me some yarn to play with, to experiment with, and the more and more I looked at it, I couldn't really decide what I wanted to do. I kind of had some ideas, but I didn't really know. But I ultimately decided that I really want to give this away to one of you. And here's the reason why. Literally, maybe a week after I was sent this yarn to review, the amazing, lovely, beautiful Helen Stewart of the Curious Handmade Designs and podcast came out with a gorgeous pattern called the Levere Kerchief, and I hope I'm saying that correctly. Levere Kerchief, and it uses 2 skeins of this yarn that they sent me to review. The yarn that I'm speaking of is a Fiber Company Luma, and it is a blend of, and I don't have the tags right here, but it is a blend of merino, cotton, linen, and silk, I believe. Absolutely stunning, gorgeous yarn. They sent me originally 1 skein to keep and 1 skein to give away. Well, this Levere Kerchief came out and it calls for 2 skeins, and you only really use half of each skein to make the kerchief. So I thought, and this is one of the colors in Helen's example in the pattern. So I just thought, that is just too perfect. I can't keep one and give one away when someone could make that project. So as a sneak peek to what will be coming, this, and I will gift the pattern to whoever wins for the Levere Kerchief. This yarn, so generously gifted to me by the Fiber Company, along with so much more that I have made, found, dyed, curated, all of, however you want to say that, will be part of an enormous birthday giveaway. So here's the deal. It's not going to be like this post, tag 3 friends, and you're done. You are gonna have to work for this one, y'all, because I want to be encouraged by you, and I want to be inspired even more by you and what you do. So I'm still working out all the details, but what I will say is that you are going to have to work for it. Right now, the value of this giveaway is well into the hundreds, plural, of dollars as far as the retail value of what is coming in this giveaway. So when I say you're going to have to work for it, you will have to do something other than just click a heart on Instagram. But it will be fun. I promise that you will love doing it. At least I hope you will. And if there's not that many of you that love doing it, then your chances are great that you will win. So just remember that this gorgeous yarn from the Fiber Company, the beautiful shawl by Helen Stewart, is really just the tip of the iceberg and what's going to be coming. I am so grateful for you guys, and I cannot wait to celebrate my birthday with you. And I hope that you can't wait too. So, hey y'all. Okay, so I am going to announce the winners of the Rainbow Along 2017 Knit Along. I'm so excited. I apologize that this has taken me so long to get out there, but March just completely got away from me, y'all. Between a retreat that was the first 5 days of the month, and then I was home for about 5 days, and then I was gone for another 7. So I am just getting back into the real world. Oh, and then as soon as I got back, I was 3 days baseball tournament that was out of town, basically. So I'm just now getting back into the land of the working world and into the living. I've been on and off sick. Anyway, but all of that to say, there are some amazing projects and winners for this cow. I have an arm full of prizes, and this isn't even it. So here is the deal. I did not assign winners to any of these. So there are a couple of prizes. I say that. There are 2 people that I know for sure are spinners, and I am sending the hand spun prizes, or the fiber prizes to them. Hand spun, wouldn't that be awesome? I'm sending the fiber prizes to them. But other than that, I am just gonna throw a bag in an envelope, and you just will be surprised as to what your prize is, and they're all amazing, and there's at least 1 item in every single prize pack. So without further ado, I want to recap all of the prizes, and which were all donated amazingly, generously. Like, it just blows my mind. Okay, so we have in 1 prize pack a skein of worsted weight Marigold Jen in this rainbow colorway. It's called Daydream. And then a sample of Love and Leche. Remember, there is a, or if you didn't see it on Instagram, I reviewed this a couple of weeks ago, and there is a coupon code. I will put it in the show notes if I can remember. But for sure, go back on my Instagram and check out the coupon code for buying a large one, and you get a free sample size. So you get to try 2 different scents for the price of 1. This is 1 prize. This is 1 prize. It is the Yarn Parlor Drawstring. Sorry, there's going to be crinkling because I've already packaged them up. Yarn Parlor Drawstring bag. It's got the little pot of gold rainbow bag. And then this really super gorgeous Kim Marie's Knit Knacks yarn in the Texas Wildflowers colorway. And I just thought they looked perfect together. So that is a prize. There is a prize for, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Knit Spin Quilt drawstring bag, rainbow drawstring bag with some knit style yarn in this rainbowy speckle colorway. So that's a prize. This is a pretty big, substantial prize. A needle organizer a set of stitch markers from me, a set of Poke Me Knots from Jambi Smiley, and some fiber, a gradient fiber. There is a skein of Penguin Soup yarn in this really pretty lots of colors of the rainbow colorway, and some stitch markers from One Geek to craft them all. This is an MCN base, so it is extra soft and luxurious. There is this prize that is all from Lamb Woman Knits. There is this handmade patchwork rainbow zippered bag and a collection of minis. I think there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different colors in there, and a little ring pop that she sent along. And the last prize is some fiber, turquoisey, beautiful greens and tans from Three Waters Farm, some stitch markers that I've donated, and Soft Like Kittens Double Helix. It's a merino nylon blend sock yarn. So I am just so excited to be able to get all of these things out in the world to you. So like I said, there are a couple of people that I have earmarked for specifically the fiber, because when I pulled their number and saw that they were spinners for sure, they're going to get the fiber, but everything else is just going to be random. Okay, so there are 7 big winners for the Rainbow Along for those 7 prize packs. The first is post number 86, Trisha2354. She knit a pair of socks. Post number 131, who is Michy Liz, I believe, Michyliz, and she knit some OMG squeeze socks. Post number 168, JAS330, knit a pair of socks. Post number 134, Phoenix Fire, knit or spun up some rainbow hand spun. So you're getting a fiber prize. Hope that's okay. The other winner of the fiber prize, again, because I could tell that they were a hand spinner, is post number 200. This is Knitter Chow, and she knit a gorgeous rainbow shawl. Post number 104, Caffee, Kaffee, excuse me, Caffee, and that is, she knit or crocheted, I can't remember, a rainbow blanket. And post number 34 is Melissa 724, and she knit a pair of socks out of 716 yarn. Oh my gosh, that was the best yarn ever! I totally want some now. I'm going to have to look for it and see if she has it at ZK this summer. So that's post number 34, the last prize, Melissa 724. If I just said your name, go ahead and send me a message on Ravelry, and I need your mailing address where you can receive a package. There were also 2 different pattern designers donated patterns for me to give away, and I'm going to go into the chatter thread and pick randomly 10 people that were chattering away and participating and encouraging, and I'm going to just send you either the download code or, you know, give your name to the pattern designer. So there will be 10 of you that will win prizes of a pattern prize, and that was donated by CC Allman. And I want to say the other name correctly, so I want to look at my message here. So sorry, Vicky Bird Designs. So Vicky Bird Designs and CC Allman, who is CC of Java Pearl Designs, donated their patterns, and I just want to thank y'all all so much for participating. I want to thank all of our sponsor, donator, vendors who graciously sent prizes. I mean, that is a haul, guys, right? Seriously, such an amazing, generous donation. So thank you so much. And I cannot wait until next year. So that's it. Remember, message me on Ravelry. I'm DBB Stitch on Ravelry if you want a prize, and I will get that out to you just as soon as possible. All right, thanks, guys.